Get away from my dad's grave, you geese. No, I'm just kidding. I'm eating kielbasa sausage, and it's the death anniversary of my dad, but I know he loves that I'm doing this right now. This is all he would do. That's probably why he died, because he ate too much sausage. And there's a new friend he has in the neighborhood here. Now I gotta find where his tombstone is. It's a bit of a challenge. That's weird. Bullets. There we go. Nope. I think he's by a tree. It really doesn't help that these tombstones are flat. All right, I think I found my dad's tombstone area because I'd imagine someone else cared about him. Has left some flowers over here, and they're green, and he's a pickle guy. Gotta be here. Let me see. These are the flowers I left years ago. These are the flowers I left. No, those are like kind of new, I guess. I think this is where it is. I'm gonna go get my shovel so I can see. All right, I'm trying to dig it out with my feet. Maybe I don't need to get the shovel. I mean, this looks familiar. I know this tree right here. I think I've come every year. One funny thing is he didn't want to have like a funeral, told us that. And it was weird because on the day of the burial, they're like, look, we had to take the casket out, like the thing collapsed. It was like his ghost was like, no, ha ha ha. He didn't want to be buried, and he was mad that we spent all this money on the funeral. Oh well, come on, man. That's crazy talk. This is just a plant. Where's the tombstone? Oh, here we go. There's a tombstone above my dad's bones right now. It's kind of morbid, but he wouldn't have any other way. There's no way he wouldn't be cracking some form of joke or making fun of me, but he couldn't call me fat. Oh, at least I'm way skinnier than he was when he died. I can make fun of him for that. Who ended on the best note? Well, I gotta keep in shape. All right, here we go. Is it Nick Pickles? What the hell is that? What are those weird faces? Look like aliens. Are you serious? Maybe this is a baby one. That's not good. All right, this must be someone else. I'm really at a loss. This is a challenge. Help me find my dad. It's like finding Pokemons, right? Wait, not at all. Okay, it turns out, actually I do want to see the name of this one, because it's such a weird image to have on your tombstone. Brian. Brian. That's what it says. He was in the cemetery by the tree. But where? Past this park? I'm gonna see if anyone left anything else. Maybe they didn't come. I don't know. Oh, it's also early right now. But I guess that just proves all the things that we think are so important aren't. Eventually, just God and all the things you thought were so important, they just fade into nothing. Here today, gone tomorrow. But what stays? All right. This may prove to be rather fruitless. I could probably ask my sister. I don't remember. She's not here. She's up in New Hampshire. Which tree was it? Which tree was it? I don't know. There's not even any point for me to get a shovel or anything. I think it was over here. No footsteps. It's lonely over here. Very quiet at the graveyard. You hear the bustling of cars. People going on with their day. Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, geez. My dad would laugh about him dying on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, that's funny, because he used to say it was the day of morons. No offense to any football fans. I like football. He played it. I mean, I kind of get what he's saying now. Who knows if it's even fucking unplanned, all fixed like fake wrestling. But who cares? It is entertainment, I guess. Probably a little bit ritualistic inside of an eye-shaped energy conductor siphoning loosh. Did I say that out loud? This is for entertainment only. Alright, I'm the only one, as of yet, to try and stand over bones as if I couldn't remember my dad at any moment anywhere else. So why do we bury the dead? Anyway, some place to go feel morbid? Or is there some idea like the body resurrects? I never understood that, by the way. I don't understand it. The theology, the eschatology. Well, I'm just walking in circles, apparently. I think I'm looking at my own footprints right now. Oh yeah, those are mine. Search for Papa Nick. Big Nick. I'm the other Nick. Same name. Good idea. I'm not a junior, which is funny. Just this different middle name. And the same thing with my cousins. All my dad and his brothers named their sons after them, but not Junior. Which I appreciate, because I wouldn't want to be called Junior. Hey, Junior! That sucks. It's always keeping you in this juvenile vibe. Could be. I mean, I'm proud to have my dad's name and all that. No, I'm not proud. I just am. Which word is it? I mean, I'm at the graveyard. That'd be a funny place to say, like, oh, I'm proud. I'm Caradone. The name. I mean, I get it. There is an appreciation in that, honoring something, but can't make it too important. Then you'll fuck it all up, because it ain't gonna go the way you think. And that, if you haven't figured that out in life, then you're just setting yourself up to have a lot of headache. I'll update you guys if I find his tombstone. I'm gonna go confer with my associates. All right, I have a shovel. Don't worry, I'm not digging up any dead bodies. Here we go. We gotta go find Operation Papa Pickle. He's not pickled, he's more like air dried right now. We actually buried him in a green casket, if you guys don't know, in the family pickle business. So we call him Nick Pickle. I'm Nicky Pickles. I guess that means I'm Oh, he's really young. You're always gonna be younger than your dad? Actually, no, probably not, because I'm not gonna. I ate kielbasa before, but I've been like 10,000 steps, man. You know, no gluten, no sugar, cleansing, fasting, feel awesome. Oh yeah, I just fucking consume tons of probiotics. Very interesting, right? I'm talking about myself when I'm trying to find my dad's tombstone. All right, when I start digging, I'll start filming again, because I can't think of anything interesting to say, even though I'm in the most interesting place where we bury our dead. Or is it the most boring place? Oh yeah, it's like Hamlet, you know? To be or not to be. And he's holding a skeleton. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying so. Oh, it's icy. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go try to find it. All right, I looked at a picture from when I visited his grave, and I found a tree that resembles it. So I think I have a good lead. And fortunately, he's one of the last at the end of the line here. So apparently he got the cheap seats. Anyways, let me proceed and see if I can figure it out. And once I uncover this memorial, I'll tune back in. Okay, guys, I think I found it. This may be the legendary. Let's see. Nick Pickle. Nick, is it him? Kind of like a scratch off. And no, Morgan. Let's strike out. Mangan. It's a Mangan. It's not him. So he must be one over. Okay, we might have a winner here. There we go. Because if I don't see his it doesn't count that I went to visit him. Let's see. Everybody knows the rules. Oh, we have a winner here. Nicholas Olas. Is that his name? Born in 45 on Christmas Eve. We put a cardinal. That's a spirit animal, probably. As per my sister and her mystical experiences. And look, Dad, I'm here 4 years later. Are you proud of me? All right, pretty much done here. I'm shoveling as I speak here. Make me look at the boogers at my nose. Okay. Edit that out. I just dropped something, and my butt crack is hanging out. Hold on. Yes, Nicholas. Let's see, he would have been 83? Holy fuck. No, 4 years later. He would have been 80 this year if he had made it. 79, one or the other. Can't do the math. 45, yeah. The 25 would have been, how many years would that be? Let's see, 55 plus 25, he'd be 80. So this year, when we get to December, he would have been, you get what I'm saying? So here, one plot of land, which should probably stay here. Who knows how long, right? I mean, talking about like maybe the earth swallows us up every 10,000 years, who knows? There it is. Legendary, awesome dude. His decisions led to me being here, and if we're portals, my soul got to come through my mother, right? But anyway, Dad, I came here more to become aware of how you're actually with me in a more real sense. This is silly. I don't identify with the body here. It's just this memorial. Wow. Okay. Now we'll bring Miles, because my dad fucking loved this dog more than me, honestly. I feel like walk him every day. When I didn't bring him to the office, like, where's Miles? Where's Miles? So let's see if Miles can smell or sense his ghost or something. He's definitely smelling the geese that were hanging out around my dad's tombstone. And as you can see, I don't know where they are now, but of all the places, I guess they were looking at this foliage or something. A path has been cleared here, but there's something interesting about a bunch of crazy Canadian geese near my dad's grave pooping. So let's take Miles to the resting. Is he resting? But it's not him. He's not there. His bone's resting. I mean, that would suck. You gotta hang out with your bones in like a dark space. Or how does that work? Anyway. Ooh, now back to his resting place. Miles is so excited. He also needed a walk too. All right. I have to say though, I'm sick of the snow, but it just hits different. At least you get to see things in a new coat. I don't know, in its winter clothes. It's just like a temporary fashionable outfit. Inspired many poems. Here we go. All right, Miles, what do you think? Is Big Nick here in the room with? Oh, he's peeing on it. Okay, he peed on my dad's grave, everybody, you see. But that's just a sign of love. All right. Oh boy, 4 years. I don't really miss. I swear, I'd probably have to become him. And I always know what he would say, so it's kind of like he's just still a part of me. And he can't give me guff though, because I forgave him. Even his ghost can't give me guff anymore, because I realized I was so mad at him, you know? My sister claims that she went to a psychic and... Hold on, I'm going to start another video. My sister had an experience with a psychic saying that he's like... Oh, it's like one of those like, who is someone in this room getting hand, and like, oh, my sister raised her hand, and the guy's like, oh yeah, he said he's sorry. He was always so putting you down because he felt bad about himself. Honestly, it's pretty plausible, but yeah, I don't know how that could be fake. Could be a demon whispering that into the guy's ear to get us to do black ritual stuff. Who cares? It's true though. He had such a rough go at it growing up, and he was the middle child, so I guess he felt like he needed to prove something sometimes. But that's the best part about forgiving, because it's not that big of a deal. We always make it like it's so important, but then you go see, here he is. All the things he thought were so important, where are they now, right? Rest my case. I mean, I'm here. I think he thought that was important and all that. Meaning not me being here, but I think anyone with real love would want their children to have a fruitful life, full of meaning, purpose, eudaimonia, as the Greeks would call it. Sure, he wanted that, but he always worried about it. The reason I think he died so young is mostly the stress, worrying, but it was just like a pattern from growing up. Like, if you're always worried at home, that's just what you're used to. How you had to deal with the world, in a chaotic world, you know, people drinking and being abusive. So I get it. And how could you be angry? Why? You understand people can't help themselves. Ever since I realized that, my life has been so much easier. Well, not easier, but I can deal with things more quickly. I may react, you know, here and there, but now that I'm aware of how we're either possessed by good or evil, and basically if you're following thoughts, you're definitely, well, unfortunately, most people wouldn't want to agree, because everyone thinks they're such a good person. I've had plenty of wickedness work through me, and I've seen it work through others. So anyway, but that's why I'm not sad my dad's gone. It doesn't feel like all those ideas I want to say were the real him in my head. It's just a relief. Why do we have to make everything so damn important? It is important when you realize it's not. So then you can be yourself, be natural, not have to think too much. Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm starting to get this idea of nirvana. So my dad, he was always saying he was a nothing. There were nothings. He was sort of a cynical guy and poking fun at the human ego. Oddly enough, his insecurity, he was trying to make up for the fact that he didn't even finish school. So, you know, he would talk a lot and maybe felt like he needed to prove himself or something because of in his childhood, according to my grandfather, he's a piece of shit. And that when he died, they would ruin everything. But my dad would say things like that to me and my cousin in the business. And, well, what was my point there? My point, what was I saying about my old man, huh? Oh, he had a hate for narcissism, but you become what you hate. There's that saying that you become what you hate. So I don't know if that applied there, but a lot of people accuse him of being sort of selfish. But a lot of the things he would say make a lot more sense. And it was good that he was pretty much an alpha. Although any man with anger is an alpha, but he kind of calmed down at the end of his life a bit. Still worried, still a bit fearful. When he had a close call, I think it changed. 2016, he had a congestive heart failure. I was overseas, and he got some surgery, and you know, he tried to turn his health around. But what was weird, everything he wanted me to be, I just ended up doing the complete opposite. I don't know if it was consciously, honest. And a part of me wanted to believe, well, of course I want to please my father and make him proud. And anytime I tried to force that in my life, I wouldn't succeed. I'd feel stuck, or my shadow self would just sabotage. I don't know, or whatever, excuses, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's what he would say, just making excuses. And there is a thing to that. People using therapy as talking cure, where you just basically expand on the problems. You just keep talking about repeating things. I don't see any resolution in that. I've done therapy, so I wouldn't recommend that. I recommend forgiving. I recommend not identifying with the world, the thing that's here today, gone tomorrow, like the trees, the wind, your thought. But okay, oh, here it was, the idea of nirvana. So maybe life is so far beyond what we can contain in our egos that when you become nothing, you become the closest to this mysterious thing that is the life force itself, or closest to God. By being no thing, you are everything. For no thing exists without no thing. And finally being that peace where you have no thoughts, so you can fuck things up, going into that rest. Although I tend to think that my father, when he was on his deathbed, had yelled out my mother's name. She had passed 2 years earlier, Pamela, and he was in and out of it in septic shock, or you know, he's in the ICU. And then he yelled at Doug, so that was the youngest brother, his youngest brother, and then Margaret. Surprisingly not his dad. I don't know where Big Joe is. I think he did some things. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't get to come visit and guide my dad, or maybe he was there. I have no idea. But it was like he was looking at them. That was the weird thing. Like he was seeing them in front of him. Then he said Margaret, and that was his Aunt Margaret, who he held dearly, because when he was a child and my grandpa was in jail, they sent him up to the farm, said they lied. They didn't tell him he went to jail at that time. And he went somewhere way upstate. Oh man, probably 3 or 4 hour drive from Long Island. But he loved loved it. He could just be a kid. And these country folk are a little kinder, whereas my grandpa was more of like a city guy and coming from the streets. So the other irony I was thinking about is I feel more life this time I come to visit, because I'm undoing my false identities. Well, God is undoing them for me, as I see it, letting those things go. So there's no sting about death. Oh, sorry about all the snot in my mustache. Maybe I'll block it out. But this guy's a new one to the club. Let me see what their name is. Miles, come here. This is Mary Jeanette, French. And this one's from January 24th. Miles, you might be smelling, okay, we'll stay away from that one. And I wouldn't say I'm like feeling joy, but this is the most peace I've felt coming into this place. What is it to honor my dad? It would be to be myself, become aware of the wickedness that comes through us, catch my thoughts, and set an example of living in that peace so people can have it too. Other people, hopefully, if they want to learn. I don't know. It's not judging or anything. I'm still going through all kinds of turmoil, but I'm able to surf it, not drown in it. I wish my dad could have. Well, I tried to share this stuff with him. I started becoming aware of it near the last of his years, but he had a beef with Christianity. He hated the nuns who used to beat his hands with rulers, and then he even just left by like 7th grade in Glen Cove. But he would say things like, the Amish are awesome. I'm like, okay, if you think the Amish are awesome, that they're smart, and they are, believing in a natural pace of life, because we all know that the bitten apple is a sign of biting from the tree of knowledge in rebellion of whatever our natural state would have been before we were fallen, and the serpents, of course. Oh man, just a side note, before my dad went in the hospital, I had the craziest dream, hyper real, of like a green python serpent, and there were 2 of them, and I remember I killed one and the other one got away, and I just felt like that I was going to get my dad in the dream. And then when we finally had to capitulate, because we didn't want to send him to the hospital, because it was my opinion, I mean, they're basically death traps at this time in 2022, tail end of all this nonsense. We don't have to get into it, you know what I'm talking about. But at that point we had no choice. He was not getting enough oxygen, and we know we didn't really want to go, but how are you going to not try to give it one last shot? And we didn't know what to do. And most eerie feeling when the ambulance took him away, seeing that the 2 snakes on the helix, or whatever the fuck it is, the snake helix thing. And I'm just like, yeah, this is what, it's like a ritual almost. I don't know. Well, let's not get into all that esoteric shit. And I don't overdose on that stuff either. I just think it's funny or interesting. And I think my dad would be into that stuff. The world was driving a little too crazy. So I think maybe it was just his time to go. And he even made an account of, he was like visited by ghosts in his basement. He said one guy looks like a Rembrandt guy, like he's like the V for Vendetta guy, was knocking on the window telling him to come. You know, my dad said, no, I'm not ready. But it's, you know, you ever have those dreams? I don't know if you guys had these dreams where, you know, you're in the room that you're sleeping, or wherever you are. So it's just very confusing. When you wake up from it, you're like, I'm in where I was asleep. But anyway, he said these entities were beckoning him. And what's weird is I read this account of this guy who like did some black magic in the 1500s or 1600s. And the way he described this demon that he made the deal with, who he owed his soul or something. He looked like the same image my dad said, so that made me feel weird. But weird omen. And my dad was not, like I said, he wasn't believing in the superstition stuff, you know, sort of a science guy, not really. He likes philosophy. But for him to say that, and he had so many other times where people visited him right when they died that night, and then he found out the news. It happened with his mother, my grandma, and it happened with my uncle Doug, the youngest one, or Ron too. Wow. Every night they come to him, my dad's just like, he's able to see them. I don't know if we all share that ability. So anyway, and then it's just odd that you realize that there's a spiritual reality, but then in other things you just find the comfort of wearing the same old skin of the things you forgot you chose to believe. It's just something we suffer from. I guess it's delusion. But then you put so much into it, people rather double down. Let everyone do what they want. I mean, don't let them. You have limits, but it's not our place to worry. And my dad worried too much, which in this form of existence, in the flesh, in this earth, whatever the hell it is, this chapter in the journey of the soul might shorten your lifespan. So I'm glad I'm hopefully finding this out younger. I don't know if my dad he didn't really get to that. Maybe getting close, tried to teach him. But hopefully that means I'm doing all right. And like, if he's able to like check in on me, he's like, all right, he does a lot of stupid shit, and I'm a way big risk taker kind of guy. Maybe sort of the opposite in some ways to my dad's personality. But I think if he sees me making art or whatever I'm doing and like feeling joy, I mean, that would be the greatest success. You know, that's what I would want for my offspring, but not want it to the point where I'm like trying to force it. I would just be like, this is what I do. It works. You got questions, I'll answer. But I can't tell you your journey. That's for you to figure out. It's very personal. Anyway, I've been rambling for a long time, long enough to raise the dead, being so bored with my snot mustache. Anyway, much love, everybody. And rest in peace, Big Nick. Bye.